What's interesting to me, Brandon, is that our spotter, Bruce Murray, right before that snap, pointed to his number on my play sheet. Got to see him a little bit as a ball hawk and a return man that time, didn't we? That's just the type of play they expect from him, and he delivers in a big way. Nice call, Bruce.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows to 10-0.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Tanner Muse there defensively.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On play action, Cousins. Rolling to his left. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Here's Nwangu. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. From the 50, it's Smith. That's caught over the middle by Fant. He's got room at the 30. The 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
The extra point now coming from Myers. He's got it, and it's 17-0.
Makes the score Seahawks 17, Vikings nothing. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
First down 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This offense so far on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. This is the tight end Fant. He'll get it inside the 20. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
A little old school I.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Seahawks 24, Vikings nothing. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Brings up third down.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Cousins to throw for it on fourth.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on fourth. Here's first and 10.
Cook up the gut. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Cousins. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it, but that one was incomplete.
He's going to throw one up from the end zone. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 52 yards.
Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill, as that was one heck of a run there.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Seahawks have opened the lead up to 30. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Nwangu now from his end zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line.
Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw taken in by Hawkinson here. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second down.
On second down, Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Cousins now. And And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Fourth down, Cousins. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down.
So the drive will continue. After the conversion on fourth, they'll work from the 20 on first down.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
When trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
To throw, Cousins. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Cousins.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Seahawksons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
104 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Give him 2 on the play there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And some space here.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Penny, the first down carry. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close.
Second and 6.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. The touchdown! DK Metcalf, 30 yards. And the Seahawks add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter and a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Cousins gives way to Cook. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Oh, he fakes the spike. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Play action now. Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Smith catches left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
At the 29-yard line.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. They'll run with Cook. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give him credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle.
Joseph connects on the extra point
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin.
Finding space at the 40. Down the right sideline. Inside the 20.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly, as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a two-point try.
Seahawks 44, Vikings 7. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now.
And he'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up past the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things.
And, oh, it'll be intercepted.
Tariq Woolen picks it.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Now the Seahawks will bring the offense back onto the field, and they'll go for two.
Check match.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. And this is going to be caught. So add two more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Go ahead.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. One last shot now for Cousins. One last shot at the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just Complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.